Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? We are back. Welcome to the channel. My name is Nikki if you are new here, and I am a photographer slash videographer, and I travel a ton, which is the bulk of what this channel is about. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It helps me a bunch, and ring that notification bell so you guys don't miss a video. And today's video is going to be rating 12 tourist attractions in London that I've been to and giving you my honest opinion on them. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first tourist attraction that I'm going to rate for you guys is Tower of London, and I'm going to start out strong by giving it a big 10 out of 10. I loved this spot. It is a old castle with loads and loads of history and the crown jewels, which is like the biggest, coolest part in my opinion. You can actually see all of those. No, you can't take any photos or videos in there, and obviously there's a ton of security, but it is so cool. If you love history, this is such a cool spot, and it sits right on the Thames, or I think it's Thames River, right next to Tower Bridge. It is such a cool spot. There's lots of really awesome views from up on like the walkways, and you get to go into like some like old dungeons and stuff like that. So there's a ton of things to explore in there and tons of things to learn. So I would say definitely put this on your list. I loved it so much. If you like history, this is definitely a stop for you. Number 2 on the list is Tower Bridge. Like I said previously, it is right next to Tower of London. It's the big iconic bridge you see everywhere when people talk about London. I gave this a 9 out of 10. The crowds can be a little bit insane, but aside from that, I love it so much. And if you like people watching, it's a great place for that. You can also walk across the bridge if you check the schedule. I believe there's a schedule somewhere online. If there is, I will link it down below, and you can see when ships are coming through and they lift the bridge. It's really a cool thing to see. I saw it the last time I went to London, and I definitely recommend. 9 out of 10 on that one. Really quick, if you can hear my iguana, my cats, or the road outside, I'm sorry, it's kind of a noisy day, but that's where we are. Number 3 on the list is the area of South Bank and all of the bridges leading up to Tower Bridge. From South Bank, there's a beautiful path there that you can literally walk from South Bank all the way to Tower Bridge, or you can walk from Tower Bridge all the way to South Bank and a couple other tourist attractions that we'll get to in a moment. But I love this area so much. I gave it an 8 out of 10 simply because the crowd's like almost double compared to Tower Bridge, in my opinion. It can be a little overwhelming if you're not used to crowds, especially after everything that we've been going through for the last couple years, but it is still such an awesome area. There is loads of food, loads of things to do, loads of things to see, and so many beautiful views. And also you pass bridges like, I'm gonna read off my list. You pass London Bridge, Millennium Bridge, and Southwark Bridge, if I said that, Southwark Bridge correctly. Millennium Bridge, if you don't know, was featured in Harry Potter, so I'm a huge fan of that bridge, and I think architecturally it looks really neat, so that's something I would check out, especially if you're a Harry Potter fan like me. Number 4 on the list is the London Eye. You guys, this is iconic. I don't know many people who go to London and don't do the London Eye. It's huge and it is so awesome. I gave this a 9.5 out of 10. Literally that little ding is because it's kind of overwhelming to deal with the lines, but if you book your ticket in advance, it's like pretty seamless. They have a very great system to get people in and out of there. And again, the views are epic. If you can, do it at like sunset time. I know it's really rainy in London, so you're not going to get like a big glorious beautiful orange sky unless you're super lucky, but you get to see the transition from day to night if you do it at sunset, even if it is cloudy. And that's what I did the one time I went, and I loved it so much. So again, recommending with a 9.5 out of 10. Number 5 on the list is Big Ben and Westminster Abbey. I am lumping these together because they are really close to each other and they kind of like fall under the same category of a rating for me. I'm giving these a 6 out of 10 simply because I have fought crowds to walk by these places, more so than any of the places I've already mentioned in this video. Yes, they are busy, but this is by far the busiest place that I have ever visited in London. You're usually throwing elbows or like very packed in like this to get anywhere. And on top of that, Big Ben is usually under construction. It has been the last 2 times that I've been to London, so I haven't actually seen the entire thing. It's covered in construction scaffolding, which I knew prior to going, so keep that in mind. Please check that before you go. Definitely something to consider if you want to check that area out. Might not be worth it if you don't want to fight the crowds, or maybe you just want to drive by quickly like in a cab or something and not deal with the crowds. So again, 6 out of 10 just for crowds and a little bit of construction, but I know there still is a ton to offer there if you're going at a time when there's less crowds or no construction. Number 6 on the list is Buckingham Palace. I am giving this a 7 out of 10. I am simply rating this because I think it's just a little less exciting than the rest of the tourist attractions, but I do still think it's really cool. I love going and seeing the guards and the people who are working around the palace as well. It's really, really neat. Depending on if you're a good planner, not like me, I am not as good of a planner, you can book tickets well in advance in the summer months to go inside the palace. I think that also depends on the current situation in the world, but definitely check that before going. And I think there's also tours for parts of the garden as well. So again, just check those well in advance before your trip, and you should be able to check those off your bucket list and see more of the castle as well, and maybe make it a little bit more exciting to you than it is just walking by at a quick glance. Number 7 on the list is Hyde Park. This is essentially the Central Park of London. It is a very quick hop over from Buckingham Palace. I've walked through this park so many times and feel like I'm constantly seeing a new part of it, a lot like Central Park in New York City. I think it is so beautiful and so much nature right in the middle of London. So definitely something I would say worth checking out, maybe as like a relaxing stroll after lunch or something like that. It's really, really nice. And there also is a ton of things you can do within the park. I've seen like different events happening. I've seen people boating. There's just definitely so many things to do, so I am rating this stop a 8 out of 10. Number 8 on the list is Marble Arch Mound. It is right outside of Hyde Park, and it is actually a temporary installation. It will be gone as of January 2022, so if you're going before that, be sure to check this out before it's gone. It's a huge mound like right next to Marble Arch, and you can climb the stairs and get some great views of the city and parts of Hyde Park. I thought it was a really, really neat idea to bring more attraction to the area, and definitely would suggest it as something not to miss since it is temporary. I am giving it an 8 out of 10. Number 9 on the list is Piccadilly Circus. This is essentially the Times Square of London. So again, I'm making another New York City reference, but I can't help myself, and they're two really, really big cities. But it is a giant roundabout with a ton of big LED billboards and all that good stuff, and connections to like really fun neighborhoods and like Broadway type stuff, so a bunch of shows. It's really neat. I am giving it a 6 out of 10 because again, the crowds, and also it's kind of like you go once and you get the gist. You don't necessarily need to go back. Not my favorite stop, but something I would say is worthy of a stop if it's your first time to London and you have not passed through Piccadilly Circus. Number 10 on the list is Trafalgar Square. I don't think I've ever said it right, so I'm going to spell it out here for you so you can properly get to that place, plus the National Gallery, which is in the square. Essentially, the National Gallery opens up to this beautiful fountain and open area. I thought this place was absolutely stunning. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. And on top of that, the National Gallery is beautiful. There's so much art history in there. So if you're like me and you love art history, this is a place you absolutely want to check out. I went in there for a very, very brief moment on my first trip to London and essentially fell in love. So definitely worth the stop in my opinion. I am giving these a 9 out of 10. So put that on your list. You got to check it out. At least the square, you have to see it. It's so, so, so beautiful and not a far jump from Big Ben. Number 10 on the list, you guys, I'm so excited about this one. This is Portobello Road Market. I have gone to this spot multiple times on both my trips to London. I'm giving it a big 10 out of 10. If you like thrifting, if you like small businesses, if you like unique finds for souvenirs, if you like street food of all varieties, this spot is for you. It is so, so, so cool. I have no complaints about this spot whatsoever. It goes on for what feels like miles and miles and miles, and there's always something new to look at. So I have to give this a 10 out of 10. You have to check this place out. It is so much fun, so incredible, and you could easily spend a day here. Somehow I knew this was gonna happen. So here I am in a little bit different lighting. The sun is going down, so sorry about that. My camera did not record the rest of it, but anyway, the final tourist attraction that I have to rate is Warner Brothers Studio Tour, The Making of Harry Potter. I absolutely had to include this. This was the very first thing I did on my very first trip to London. Full jet lag, got off the plane and went straight to the studio. I could not recommend this place enough. It's a little bit of a disaster to get out to. It's super, super far out, but like a lift, and there are shuttles and everything. You can get out to it pretty easily. It just takes a little bit more effort. But I am giving this a 10 out of 10, 20 out of 10, a gajillion out of 10. Love, love, love this. If you are the slightest Harry Potter fan, this is amazing. If you like movies, this is amazing to see. Absolutely loved this entire studio tour. It's self-guided. They say it's only supposed to take you 3 to 4 hours. I think I was there for like 6 to 8 hours. They were literally closing exhibits behind me. Absolutely love this and will recommend this until the day I die. You have to go and check it out. And that is it, you guys. Those are the 12 tourist attractions in London that I'm going to rate for you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss another video. And I really appreciate you watching this one all the way through, and I will see you on the next adventure. Bye! Why did I make that sound? Stallone! Number 8 on the list is a spot right outside of... Number 8 on the list is right outside of Hyde Park. Okay. Stallone!